Hi, I'm Jessica Finsel. I'm a tech integrationist for Atlantic Community School District. This is a quick tutorial on some of my favorite Gmail tips and tricks. First thing is, you'll notice I'm in a Gmail account, and one of the things I want to talk about first is the type of inbox you currently are in. If you currently see a screen like this and it's got no filters or anything, what type of inbox are you in and how do you know? Well, if you hover over the inbox tab and click on the drop down arrow, you'll notice you will see that my current inbox is the default type of inbox. You'll notice there's different types of inboxes and it gives you a description of what they are on the right side of it. My favorite type of inbox is the priority inbox. If I click on priority inbox, you'll notice that my screen will change behind me. And you'll notice it says important and unread messages are at the top, starred messages are in the middle, and everything else at the bottom. What Gmail does is it kind of identifies what emails that you think are important. And you can also identify emails that are important. For example, if I want this Khan Academy one to be important, I will just click on the yellow tag next to it. If I want to star this particular one that says School Reach, it will then go into my starred. And if I refresh this page, because I'm impatient, I'm going to go ahead and refresh it, and you'll notice those have been moved in those particular categories. So if I get an email to this account, and if I consider it important and unread, it will fall under this category. I like this because it'll let you know which ones that you really need to research or get to answer first. These at the bottom are not as important, or you're just going to look at it at your own time. Again, that is my favorite type of Gmail tips. The other thing is, let's discuss star. Starred is a kind of a cool concept. Right now I only have one star, and that's a yellow star. But under your settings, you have the option of adding stars. So I'm going to go to my gear and go to settings. And you'll notice under the general tab, and if you scroll down, I currently have in use just the yellow star. But if I wanted a red and a blue star, I can then add that. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and save changes. So why would I want different colored stars? Well, each different colored star can mean a different thing. So, for example, if I click on Roger Warren and I unclick the yellow star, now it is not starred. But if I click on him twice, it's going to be a red star. And if I go back to Mr. Warren's and I click on it 3 times, now it is blue. Then you can identify and have your different colors mean different things within your own particular system. That is a tip or trick that you can do. But you will need to change your stars. The other thing that I like is labels. You'll notice over here I have a few labels on the left-hand side. Labels are also known as folders in some aspects, but the difference between a label and a folder, if you're used to the Outlook or Entourage, is you can have more than one label on a particular inbox. Well, you'll notice I have a lot of emails from Khan Academy. Well, I want to make a folder, also known as a label, on the left-hand side. So I'm going to scroll down, look under the More button, and you'll notice I can add and create a new label. I'm going to go ahead and create a new label. My label is going to be Khan Academy. And you can nest these just like you wanted to if I wanted to put it under technology or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Now you'll notice over here in alphabetic order that Khan Academy is over here. And you'll notice the box is gray. I'm not a big person that likes gray. I can click on the drop down option and I can choose a different color. I'm going to go ahead and choose green. So if I go back to my inbox, and let's say for this particular one, I want this to be labeled Khan Academy. I can drag the Khan Academy label over the top of it. Now you'll notice this has changed to a 1 and it's bold. And that means I have one message that falls under the category Khan Academy, or also known as a label, and it has that particular color green label on it. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves in Google is you have almost 25 gigabytes of space in a Google Apps account. Well, with that being said, don't delete, archive. What do you mean by archive? Well, if I click on this message or I open this message up, you'll notice I have some different options at the top. If you notice, if I hover over the folder with the arrow down, I have the option to archive. What does that mean? Well, if I've read this message and I no longer need it to be in my inbox, I'm going to go ahead and click on the archive button. I click on the archive button and you'll notice that the Khan Academy has been moved. Where did it go? It went to 2 spots. It's no longer in my inbox. But do you remember I put the label Khan Academy on it? and you'll notice that one in bold is no longer there. So I click on Khan Academy, and you'll notice the message that we were reading earlier is right there. But if I didn't put a folder on it, where else would it be? Well, there's a tab or a label called All Mail. I click on the More button, and I scroll down and I go to All Mail. I click on All Mail, and you'll notice that email that we're referring to, the Khan Academy, is here as well. But you also notice everything is here in your All Mail. All your drafts, all your sends, whatever you possibly want is in your All Mail. But you'll notice I did not put it in my trash, and there's nothing in my trash. So let's go through that All Mail again. So if I go to my inbox again, and let's say this particular one, let's go down to this one right here from Jane Smith. I click on that, but I don't need to open it. I'm just kind of mass cleaning my emails. I could just, and I don't need a folder or a label for this particular one, so I'm just going to archive it, and now you'll notice it's no longer in my inbox. But now let's say I want to refer back to that one with Jane Smith. Well, what can I do? Well, one thing with Google, the best thing is Google is a great search tool. Why don't I search? The email was from who? So I'm going to type in from Jane Smith, and you'll know, or it was Joe, maybe it was Joe. Nope, it wasn't Joe, it was Jane. And you'll notice, wasn't that the email that we were referring to? It was from Jane Smith. It is searching all mail. That's why the importance of archiving versus trash. Because if that particular case, if I deleted that particular email, I would not have the capability of searching for it. So let me repeat that again, because that's very important to know. If you delete an email and it goes to your trash, and again, your trash is in here, you'll notice in the default of the search, it does not search in your trash. So, well, I don't understand the from : well, what other options do I have? So I'm going to go back to my inbox, and I'm going to click on this drop down arrow at the top right hand side. You notice it's giving you some tips and tricks. Well, maybe there's an email with the technology in the subject line. I'm just going to type in technology. I don't know if there is or not. But do you also notice up here, search all? Well, I could search and filter those down even so, but I always, in the default, search all mail. So I'm going to go and click on the arrow. Well, look at that email that had the subject line technology. Do you notice in the colons are there? You do not have to be an expert in those particular shortcuts, but you do have this drop down button as well. Again, that is why the importance of all mail versus the trash. If again I go back to my inbox, and if I wanted to clean all these emails at once, I could just click on this one and hit the shift button, and you'll notice all those are checked. I like to, in my email etiquette, is go to More and mark it red. And then I archive all those, and now it's out of my inbox. And look how fast I am cleaning my email out. So you can do the same exact thing, but again, I am not getting rid of these altogether. I am just now archiving them to get them out of my inbox so I don't have a cluttered inbox. Again, I want to show you, you can also drag and drop into your folders as well. So for example, if I want Khan Academy, I've opened this up, I can also click on the folder icon and move it to the Khan Academy folder. And now it is particularly moved off there. It's in my Khan Academy folder. I go back to my inbox. Let's go, and for example, I have a label for Mr. Warren. If I click on this as well, I could actually put him in, let me state that again, I can actually put 2 labels on one email, or more if I need to. So I could drag Roger Warren into that particular one, and also he falls under technology, so I can drag and drop both of those in there. I do notice that technology is spelled incorrectly. How can I change it? Well, I can click on technology, click on the arrow down, and you'll notice I can either change the color and edit this label and actually spell technology correct. Go ahead and hit save. So now this particular email is in several spots. It is under technology, under Roger Warren, in my inbox, and under the More All Mail. So you have no reason to not find it. I could then just type in the word Roger and see what I get. Look at all these particular emails that refer to Roger. So again, it is important because you always remember one particular word in that email. That is why you're trying to refer back to it. So that again, the search tool is very helpful. I also want to mention at the very end, your settings is also a great tool where your list of information is needed. If you go to settings, you'll notice you have your general tab, and there's so many things in there. You have your labels, which we've discussed over here, is also you can tweak your labels to the way that you want. You can create, you can hide, you can do whatever. So if you don't need to show the social one, you can go ahead and hide it, or whatever the case may be. Or if you want, you can hide your chats, whatever is your option. The other thing is, don't forget labs. There's some fun tips and tricks. Labs are experiments for Googles, and you can enable them, and once you enable them and save them, you will see some of the things that will change. One of my favorite is the right-sided chat. Chat's always in the way. I prefer it on the right-hand side. That is my preference. Again, these are my tips and tricks and what makes my Gmail more efficient. I go to my inbox as well, and you will notice, again, important, everything else. And this is what you want to always kind of have. It's right there on top, things that you might need to refer to for a little bit. But do not forget the star. That's like the flag in an Outlook and Entourage that you kind of are used to. I think that is it for today, but do not forget there's some other tips and tricks like filters or so on. There's one way to find those out. You can Google them and find them for you. Thank you so much and have a great day.